Leg training. Hello. Today we are going to be talking about my leg training routine. Does anyone care? I don't think so. But just in case you do, I've made a few changes to my leg program over the past half a year to a year. And I thought I would share why and the changes I've made and the gains I've made in doing so, in the hopes that it may too help you out if you find yourself in a similar situation to me. Obviously, I could bring up my hamstrings and glutes as well, but it's quite difficult to show like hamstring separation again without taking a picture like this. So obviously I'm not going to take a picture like that just to look at my hamstring separation, and I'm not going to upload it to the internet. So normally I would start off my leg training with a squat. The reason I am not is covered in detail in the other video that I uploaded about squatting and deadlifting. I got into it, it became its own video. So now we're just going to talk about leg training itself. In short, when I squat heavy, I'll keep getting to a point somewhere above the 3 plate mark, could be anywhere, where I will snap my shit up. And that prevents me from training my legs properly, prevents me from training the rest of my body differently. It prevents me being able to carry in groceries. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of training. So I have amended my leg training around not squatting, and I found a way to actually improve my legs this year by bringing squatting out and replacing it with intensity on other movements. Are squats sick? Yes, they are sick. They're like the best leg exercise ever. Arguably one of the best exercises ever. If you can do one exercise, fucking squat. This video is for people that want to, for whatever reason, try my leg program that does not include squatting. Exercise number 1, leg extension. Shoop, ah, shoop, ah. Leg extension is like doing a tricep extension for your leg. It's isolation for the quads. Quads are obviously want to be my focus for a leg routine. Warm-up set, I'll do 4 heavy sets, moderately heavy. So we're talking between 10 and 15 reps, normally ending up somewhere around 12, 10 to 12 most of the time. It's kind of pre-exhausting in a way. I basically want to mess up my quads enough that when I jump onto the heavier stuff, so my hack squat, the Bulgarian split squat, leg press, whatever else it is that I'm doing, I am able to say with confidence that my quads are the thing that has failed. And it's not like my glutes are messing me up at the bottom of the rep or anything like that. It's like my quads are torched and I'm waddling around the gym. So it will be 4 straight sets, 10 to 12, followed by call it what you like. This principle has been used a lot. A back off set, a pump set. It's not any of those things. It's not magical. It's not helping increase growth hormone or whatever. It feels good to flush some blood into the muscle and really exhaust it with a slightly lighter weight after you've like just torched it. And if you try to do another set with a heavier weight, you wouldn't hit your reps. It's not light. We're talking, 30%. 30 to 40% of what you were using on the heavy stuff, call it 30. You'll hit that, and what are you gonna hit? 15, 20 reps odd with that, depends on the day. Next exercise, Bulgarian split squat. Bulgarian split squat is a fantastic exercise. It's isolateral, that means on one side only, and it will mess up your glutes. It will also smash your quads. So all in all, fantastic. If you come nice and deep, you get a decent hamstring punch on it as well. So I'm a big fan of this exercise. Actually, no, I'm not. I hate doing them. They really hurt, they suck, which is why I always include them. Because in general, if you find that an exercise really sucks for you, it's probably because you should be doing it. And it's like taking your medicine. I used to be hitting this really heavy. I'll be doing 3 heavy sets on each leg. On this new leg program, I've knocked that down to 2 sets, which for time purposes, it winds up being 4 sets, obviously, because it's 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Hitting still relatively heavy, 8 to 10 reps on this. The main functional thing that I'm focusing on here, aside from like not falling over in good form, is depth. you want the back knee to be touching the floor as deep as you can get. You can even go as far as to doing this at a deficit, where you line some plates up on the floor and then put your foot on that, so raising the lead leg, just allows you to get a little bit deeper. Obviously you'll use less weight if it's at a deficit, but that's pretty good. I've been doing them on the Smith machine. I find I don't have to focus on balancing, and I can focus on just shifting the heavy weight. Much easier to get to total failure on a Smith machine as well. If you're holding dumbbells there and you're starting to fail and you're kind of shaking around and messing up and your balance is off, that's going to be the reason that you have to drop them. Whereas if you're on a Smith machine, it's not going anywhere and you can just keep pushing up on that bar and eventually the bar won't move anymore. Much easier to get to failure and safer. In fact, I think it's like the only thing that a Smith machine is really good for. Really don't like Smith machines. That's another video. After the 2 sets of 8 reps, give or take, on Bulgarian Split Squat, we move over to a hack squat. Tom Platz used to like him. Tom Platz had sick legs. Do you really need me to talk about this any further? That's actually not a very good reason to choose an exercise. Let's talk about it. I like the hack squat for a similar reason that I like the Bulgarian Split Squat. It's easy to go heavy safely. So your back is in a neutral position and it's kept that way, and you can get deep as you like. If it's a good machine, you can go as deep as the machine will allow you, the equivalent of like an arse to grass squat in terms of your hip angle. And you can standardize each rep, come super low, come to just short of lockout at the top, super low, just short of lockout. Again, this is sitting around 8 to 12, probably something like 10. I'll do 3 straight sets on this. If I wanted to be a dick on the last set, I would do a rest pause. So finish, take a few deep breaths. I go for 7 deep breaths because that's like roughly 10 seconds without having to like whip my stopwatch out and like stare at it and, you know, look like I'm doing maths in the gym and follow a stopwatch and the percentages, and let's just take 7 deep breaths and do the reps. 3 sets of that, potential rest pause at the end. Although if you try this workout, you probably won't need the intensity principle to be hobbling home. Next one, hip thrust. Fine. On a swivel chair, I'm actually surprised it went this well. Dudes don't train glutes enough. Everyone should be training their glutes. It's really good to have strong glutes for your lower back later in life. Really, it's basically what dictates how heavy you can take a squat nice and deep. Also, massive muscles, and if you want to talk about like total physique development and how adding muscle can increase your basal metabolic rate, glutes are something that you want to add to your physique and your frame. It's hard to get your glutes too big. It's true of like your whole lower body. It's difficult to get them too big. It's very rare that someone will be like, man, your quads are too big. Your glutes are too big. Your calves, man, your calves are like, they're disproportionately large. Why would anyone want calves that large? I use a hip thrust machine. You can use a barbell. If you're using a barbell, you want to make sure that you keep a posterior pelvic tilt and your back effectively stays like a lever with your hip here, like this, and you're not doing this with your back all floppy and back up. I will do 4 sets of about 10 reps. I will hold for 2 seconds at the top of the hip thrust, messes your glutes up like you wouldn't believe, and drastically improves the weight that you can use on the other movements like squat if you're doing a hack squat, leg press, whatever it is. On to the, in MuscleWorks, it's called the Avenger Leg Press. It's this bizarre, it looks like the most superfluous bit of kit you've ever seen. It's like a seat, and then the leg press, like the whole platform moves, and it's got this lever arm that comes up when you press. It's very rare that another gym is gonna have this piece of equipment, so just call it a good leg press. There are loads of shit leg presses out there. In fact, I don't like leg presses in general. I am like forced to use them sometimes if I'm traveling or whatever, but ultimately they're not very good pieces of equipment. I can talk about that in another video maybe. But if you have a good leg press, one that feels comfortable and you can get nice and deep with without letting your pelvis rise up and, you know, rounding your back, or like doing half reps and being like, oh yeah, I'm leg pressing the weight of a car, but it's moving like 3 inches. Good job. Then I will do 3 sets on that. Again, the last one you can throw in that rest pause protocol from the hack squat. So 7 deep breaths and go again. Maybe twice. And it will be in the region of 8 to 12 reps, depending on how I'm feeling. Normally I'll cycle it, so I'll do like lower reps, heavier, like 8 reps one workout, and then the next workout I'll come in, I'll use only a little bit lighter and try to go for the 10 to 12 range, and it's just a way of getting stronger. Hip abductions next. You can call them hip abductions, you can call them bad girls, whatever you like. You're opening your legs. This is a good accessory for glutes. There isn't a massive rhyme or reason to be throwing them in. At this point, my quads are fried, basically done. I don't have to squeeze very hard. I might as well do an extra 4 sets on this, 10 to 12 repetitions, get the glutes a little bit extra crispy. Now, in my training, I've actually split off hamstring and calves into a separate day. You could also, for times, throw them into this quad workout and it just about worked. If I was doing hamstrings, it would be Nordic curl. I'm not even gonna try. This one, I dictate how heavy it is. I'm not holding weight, it's where I put my hands. It's easier to put my hands here, it's harder to put my hands up here. It will be 4 sets to failure, depending on where I put my hands. Sometimes I'm failing at like 5 to 6 if I've got my hands high. Sometimes I can get 10 or more if I've got my hands low. That's pretty much my hamstring training, at least in isolation. For calves, I would choose a machine. I was using the donkey calf raise for the longest time. Then I've moved on to it would be like a straight calf raise or an angled calf raise, straight calf raise, whatever. Just do something that you can bend your knees slightly so you can get the soleus as well as the gastrocnemius. I hit 5 sets on that. The last set, I'll either do a drop set, so finish the weight that I'm on, knock it back by like 3 pins, carry on going. Then I'll do 10 attempts at a rep. So I try and get 10 reps. They won't be good reps or pretty reps or full reps, but it'll be 10 attempts, followed by 10 to 30 seconds of stretching. So just the calves in the stretch position, trying to push them up from a dead stop. Call it 30 seconds, do that. And that would be the end of the leg workout. If you were doing it all on one day, the hamstring and calf, you could throw that separately and just do the quad day like I've been doing. Quad and glutes, I guess. You have covered off everything, loads of different focuses in terms of ranges of motion. You've done glute isolation work, pretty much everyone should be doing. And because we've chosen exercises which are very easy to track weight on and progress, i.e. they're easy to fail on, it's not like a squat where like if you feel really good, you're gonna feel confident going for an extra couple of reps sometimes and otherwise not so much. I'm not saying the squat is a bad exercise, it's sick. Simply describing why I have cycled it out of my program and how it's been working for me. I hope this video was useful. We have covered off my leg training as it stands today and for the past several months. I'd be interested to know if you try it out, what you think of it. If you'd like to know more about my thoughts on squats and deads and why they aren't in my program, it's another video that I literally just shot today, but it's gonna be in a separate video. Like, comment and subscribe for more Minecraft content.